CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. And yes, I know you're clicking on this video and you're thinking, why are you talking about this game now? This game happened 2 days ago. Why is it taking you so long to get around to it? And it's really just because I did not have time to watch it live on Sunday morning and just got around to watching it, finished last night, and just now getting around to sitting down and talking about it. Because there is a little bit to talk about and some thoughts I would like to share on this game. You might look at the score, 110 to 84, USA versus Serbia, and think, what is there to talk about? It was a blowout, as expected. Team USA just cruising along, probably going to win the gold. What do you have to talk about? What's there to talk about? A few things, actually, and I'm actually a little bit concerned for Team USA. Perhaps not this Olympics, but in the future. And I want to talk about that. So, a few takeaways from this game. First of all, for anyone that actually watched it, you would know in the first 2 minutes, my goodness, that was awful. Awful performance from Team USA. Obviously, credit to Serbia for coming out strong, but it just... Between this game and the other, like the you can call them Olympic preseason games, the Team USA showcase games, the exhibitions before the actual Olympic play started. I mean, I don't know if it's just a matter of these guys haven't played a lot together, but to me, based on the body language, it really feels like sometimes you're watching the Team USA guys and they just kind of are just going through the motions, taking things for granted, and just not... They're just... I hate to use the word lazy, because, like, it just sounds ridiculous to call a professional athlete lazy. It's their job to go out there and perform day in and day out, but it didn't look like... It didn't look good. The lazy turnovers, and they're like unforced errors a lot of the time too. It just, man, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. So that also happened in the first half of the Team USA showcase exhibition versus South Sudan, where Team USA only won by 1 point. Thank you, LeBron James, for hitting that game-winning layup. But man, it's just, beginning of this game, I think Serbia was up, 10-2. We have a play-by-play here, so I actually could go through here if I wanted to. Yeah, look at that. Serbia 10-2 to start this game. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as Joel Embiid is subbed out, then things start improving. So that's something else I wanted to talk about in this game, because I did not pause the game at any point to look at the stats. Obviously, the announcers will mention the stats as we go throughout the game. But the eye test, there's always a lot of talk the past couple seasons, ever since Embiid won MVP, that Embiid's dodging Jokic, and why is it really a coincidence that he's always unavailable when the Philadelphia 76ers play the Denver Nuggets? Look, I'm not one to really buy into all of that kind of just noise that in some cases the media is just hyping up or creating drama out of nothing. But, man, that Jokic outperformed Embiid when Embiid was in the game today. And look, again, box score stats don't tell the whole story. Again, I'm telling you, the eye test, Embiid looked flustered out there being guarded by Jokic. It was insane. I couldn't believe, I thought they'd be fairly evenly matched, but Jokic got the better of him. And you can see in the plus-minus, he's the only player plus-minus for Team USA that's negative. Now, Embiid was starting at center, and then other times Coach Kerr would be putting in Anthony Davis, along with Bam Adebayo at the 4. I mean, I don't really know who was technically at the 4, but a lot of times it looked like AD was guarding Jokic. So, yeah, AD was outstanding. And, I mean, you can see that by the stats, too. I mean, it's just... The proof is in the pudding right here. I mean, there you go. That's the stats show it from the eye test of just watching the game. Embiid did not look so great, and the stats show it too. Sometimes the box score doesn't show the whole story, but in this case, it definitely does. So, yeah, AD was playing well, and then just obviously, been a lot of talk on social media of Kevin Durant coming off the bench. And, of course, he was hurt for a little bit, and he came out the gate. My, oh my. He started off in I think it was the first half, right? I think that's the run he went on was the second quarter. Could be wrong. But he had like 19, 8 of 8 from the field. Incredible. And obviously some of those shots were wide open catch and shoot threes because as far as Team USA goes, all of these guys are star players in their own regard outside of, you could argue Derek White's not really a star player, doesn't have the luster of a star player. Same with, I guess, Drew Holiday, but I mean, all these guys are outstanding players. Meanwhile, Serbia, I could really... who do we know from Serbia? I know Jokic, Bogdanovic, and I know Jovic on the Miami Heat. This name looks familiar. That's all I know. And I think that's... Most casual fans probably can't name more than 3 or 4 of these guys. So, yeah. Players like Kevin Durant will get left wide open because of that, and I'm sure the game plan on Serbia's part was partly related to the fact that Durant's coming off an injury. But yeah, he played great, and besides the open catch-and-shoot threes, he also had a couple contested threes that just looked really tough. I think there was one over Jokic even. It was incredible. It was fun. That was peak Kevin Durant play. It was awesome. So, that being said, between him and LeBron, leading the way in scoring, as the box score also shows, it's got me a little bit concerned for the future of Team USA. There's nothing wrong with LeBron's a great player. Durant's a great player. LeBron is going to go down as one of the greatest. But why in the world does Team USA have to rely on a 40-year-old to get things done? And besides the 40-year-old guy on the team, the other ones that are leading the charge are in their mid to upper 30s. What's with all... Look, I get it. Tatum didn't play. Tyrese Halliburton didn't play. They're the young guys, so maybe my argument is invalid because of that. But if you look at anyone else on this team, I don't know. It's got me a little bit concerned. Just a little bit concerned, especially with the way Team USA played in the World Cup last year. Those guys are much younger. It's not the older generation of players like LeBron and Steph and KD, but I don't know, man. It's got me a little bit nervous for the future of Team USA. They're obviously going to be good, but I mean the rest of the world's catching up. All these other countries are great players out of France, great players out of Serbia, you got guys like Luka out of Slovenia, you got Giannis out of Greece. I mean, you got a lot of different countries with some great players. Basketball's expanding globally, and Team USA is not going to have the guarantee of being the dominant team in the future. So, just the body language at the beginning of some of these games where they have some just unforced turnovers, in addition to the fact that they don't really play with each other year-round, in addition to the fact that you got the older guys are the ones leading this team in the scoring and the stat columns, not just as far as their vocal leadership. I'm a little concerned. That all being said, talking about LeBron James, man, let me tell you what. For the past 5 or so years, well, not even just 5 years, but really ever since people started saying things like, "Oh, LeBron's the GOAT" over Michael Jordan back in, what was that? I swear that started. The conversation started coming into like 2012, 2013, the Miami Heat LeBron era, and especially after that championship in 2016. I think that's when the conversation really picked up, but obviously it's way too early to make a determination, and I personally still felt like Michael Jordan's easily gets that label. Not that it really means anything, because different players, different eras, different context, different positions even. Does it really matter? No, but it's just fun to talk about. I don't know. It's the first time, I think, ever that I've even considered picking LeBron as the greatest of all time over Michael Jordan. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but it's really got to do with like the longevity and the fact that he is leading this team at his age. I mean, it is just insane. His hair is graying. His beard, you can see gray hairs in his beard. Like he's old. He's old, and he's leading this team of star players. Unbelievable. It's fun to watch, whether you're a fan of him or not. I mean, you just have to admit it's pretty unbelievable what he's able to pull off at his age. So, that being said, those are my thoughts after watching this Team USA versus Serbia game. I believe the next game is actually tomorrow. If I'm able to watch the game, I will provide feedback immediately after, but no guarantees. Otherwise, we will continue to talk about Team USA in the coming weeks as we get closer to the single elimination tournament part of the Olympic play. And then, of course, the off-season for the NBA is wrapping up. We're going to have some off-season ranking type videos, discuss, all of the moves that have been made collectively. Obviously, we've had discussions about individual player signings and trades, but it's that time of year where things have pretty much wrapped up. I'd say Tyus Jones was like the cherry on top as far as free agent news and whatnot. And we're going to start breaking it down and giving some grades to some of these teams. So look forward to that. If you want to see some more NBA offseason content, you can click the video on your screen now, and we'll see you over there.